In 1943, at the age of 28, my uncle was sent home from the army to die. The doctors said his liver was failing and there was nothing they could do. His sister, however, knew exactly what to do, and it's something that would make modern doctors lose their minds. She put him on a 21-day water fast and then slowly rebuilt his system with whole plant foods. He recovered completely and lived to be 95 years old. Now, before you think that's some crazy outlier story, stay with me, because I'm about to show you the science behind why fasting just might be the most powerful tool your body has for healing itself. This is the complete guide, everything I know about fasting and cleansing in one video. First, let's clear up some confusion, because most people use the terms fasting and cleansing interchangeably when they're actually very different. Fasting is water only, nothing else, no juice, no broth, no anything, just water. This is the most intense form of giving your digestive system a complete break. Cleansing means you're still taking in some nutrition, but you're being extremely selective about what. This could be fresh vegetable juices, a mono diet like Kitchari, or even just eating very clean whole foods for a period of time. But you're cutting out everything that creates extra work for your system. Think of it this way. Fasting is like completely disassembling your vacuum cleaner, taking out the filter, cleaning the brush roll, and unclogging every tube so it can work like new again. Cleansing is like emptying the dustbin and giving the filter a quick rinse. Lighter maintenance, but still helpful. Now let's walk through exactly what happens inside your body when you stop eating hour by hour. Think of someone working 80 hours a week with a 2-hour commute. They come home exhausted, handle whatever crisis is waiting for them, collapse into bed, and do it all again the next day. The house is a mess, repairs are piling up, and deep cleaning hasn't happened in who knows how long because there's simply no time or energy for it. That's what happens when you eat all day. Your body is so occupied with processing incoming food that it never gets a chance to rest, clean up, or repair. The only way that house gets properly cleaned is if this person takes 2 weeks off, sends the kids to grandma's, and finally has the time and space to tackle everything that's been neglected. That's exactly how it works when you stop eating for an extended period. The constant work of digestion stops, energy becomes available for other tasks, and the body can finally address what's been piling up. For the first 4 to 8 hours after a meal, the body is still processing what came in. That means it's breaking down food and managing blood sugar with insulin. Fat burning is not happening during this phase because insulin is high. Around hours 8 to 12, the digestive work finally winds down, blood sugar stabilizes, and for the first time, there's bandwidth for other tasks. Between hours 12 and 16, something important shifts. Insulin drops low enough that the body can finally access stored fat for fuel. The liver converts fatty acids into ketones, which the brain actually prefers over glucose for clean, steady energy. This is why many people report mental clarity during this window. From hours 16 to 20, deep cleaning mode starts as autophagy begins to increase meaningfully. Fun fact, autophagy literally means self-eating. Cells start breaking down damaged proteins, malfunctioning mitochondria, and accumulated debris, then recycle this waste into fresh building materials. When food comes in constantly, autophagy can't ramp up to meaningful levels, so the cleanup never happens. Around hours 20 to 24, human growth hormone spikes significantly, with some studies showing increases of 1,300% or more. Most people know HGH as a muscle-sparing hormone, but it does far more than that. It also enhances fat metabolism, promotes muscle growth and repair, and supports tissue regeneration throughout the body. This is one of the reasons fasting can be so rejuvenating when done properly. Now, here's where most people quit, so listen closely. The first 3 days are the hardest. Day 1 is easy because you're motivated and feeling good, but day 2 is when most people quit because this is when detox symptoms hit. Headaches, body aches, hunger pangs, fatigue, brain fog, irritability, and you'll probably smell worse than usual. Your tongue will have a thick coating and your breath might smell like something died. Day 3 is still tough, but you'll notice it's slightly better. Every toxin you've been storing, caffeine residue, processed food chemicals, environmental toxins, medications, it all has to exit through your elimination channels, which are your bowels, kidneys, skin, and lungs. Day 4 and beyond, this is where the magic happens. Suddenly your energy returns, but different, clearer. Your mind sharpens. You feel lighter. You might feel dizzy if you stand up too fast, but other than that, it's smooth sailing from here on out. And there's actual science behind why this shift happens. Research shows autophagy doesn't reach peak cellular repair activity until after 72 hours, which is exactly why day 4 is when people report feeling dramatically better. Dr. Herbert Shelton supervised over 40,000 fasts in his career and observed this transformation consistently. So why does this actually work? One study found that fasting for just 3 days can reset the immune system by triggering stem cell regeneration of new immune cells. At the same time, it lowers inflammatory markers throughout the body, which matters because chronic inflammation drives nearly every major disease, including type 2 diabetes. And you don't even need to do extended water fast to see results like this. A 2022 study found that nearly half of participants put type 2 diabetes into remission after just 3 months of intermittent fasting alone, while cutting their medication costs by more than 70%. If you're finding this valuable, hit like and subscribe. There's a lot more coming. Now, before we get into when to fast and how to do it, there's something almost nobody talks about that changes everything. It's called your constitution, and it's something you need to take into consideration. Western nutrition science largely ignores this. So to understand it, let's look to Ayurveda, the 5,000-year-old medical system from India. The word itself means the science of life. And one of its core insights is that different bodies digest differently. What works for one constitution may not work for another. Ayurveda recognizes 3 fundamental energies called doshas. They are vata, pitta, and kapha. Everyone has all 3, but in different proportions, and your unique ratio is your constitution. Vata is the air energy. Vata-dominant people tend to be variable, sometimes hungry, sometimes not. They're usually rail thin and often forget to eat. If you've ever looked up and suddenly realized it's 3 p.m. and you haven't eaten anything all day, that's classic Vata. Pitta is the fire energy. Pitta-dominant people tend to run hot, wake up hungry, metabolize food quickly, and get irritable when they skip meals. If you've ever snapped at someone because lunch was late, that's Pitta. Kapha is the earth energy. Kapha-dominant people have slower, steadier metabolisms. They can easily go long stretches without food and often naturally gravitate toward 1 or 2 meals a day without any effort. And here's another piece of Ayurvedic wisdom that changes everything. It takes approximately 6 hours for the body to fully digest a meal. In Ayurveda, digestion isn't done when food leaves your stomach. It's only finished once that meal has been fully assimilated and converted into living tissue. Nutrients need time to move through each of the 7 tissue layers. The order in which they are fed is plasma, blood, muscle, fat, bone, nervous tissue, and finally, reproductive tissue. Only after this full cycle completes is a meal truly assimilated. That's what takes 6 hours. Eating again before that cycle completes interrupts digestion, and the body has to stop mid-process and start all over again, which means the previous meal never gets fully digested. What time you eat also plays a role. The ideal window for the largest meal is midday, between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. This time of day is ruled by Pitta, which means digestive capacity is naturally strongest. Eating after dark, when digestion naturally slows, creates its own set of problems. So how do you know when you should consider fasting or cleansing? First, when you're sick. This sounds counterintuitive, but when you're fighting an infection, your body needs to divert massive resources to your immune system. It quite literally cannot do deep repair work while it's busy digesting. Have you ever noticed that animals instinctively stop eating when they're sick? That's nature's wisdom happening right in front of you. And guess what? Humans are animals too. The same principle applies when you're injured. Healing requires redirecting energy from digestion to tissue repair. And lastly, when your digestion is compromised. If you're constantly bloated, constipated, or dealing with indigestion, your digestive system is screaming for a break. A cleanse or short fast can reset everything. But here's the flip side, which is just as important to understand. When not to fast. If you have a history of eating disorders, fasting can trigger disordered eating patterns. Please work with a therapist and a doctor educated in supervising therapeutic fasts. Similarly, if you have diabetes, practice extreme caution. While therapeutic fasting has been proven to help with this condition, your blood sugar regulation is already compromised. Do not fast without experienced medical oversight. And when I say experienced medical oversight, I mean doctors who are trained in and have successfully treated their patients in this way. Therapeutic fasting clinics do exist. Places like True North Health Center in California have been conducting medically supervised water fasts since 1984, with people traveling from all over the world specifically for this treatment. Beyond those specific conditions, there are also more general times to avoid fasting. First, during your period. Your body is already cleansing and losing blood and nutrients in the process. This is not the time to restrict. Also, no fasting if you're pregnant or nursing. You actually need extra nutrition consistently coming in for both you and your baby. This is not negotiable. You also don't want to fast during high stress periods or intense training. Your body is already carrying a heavy load, so don't add to it. And finally, if you're on medications, the whole point of fasting is to detox, and your body views that medication as a toxin, so it's best to finish your medication and then support your healing by fasting afterwards. One more note on timing. Winter is when you want to avoid aggressive cleansing. Your body needs warmth and building energy during cold months, not cooling and depleting practices. Your immune system is already working harder in the winter, and deep detox work can compromise that. Save your cleanses for spring, summer, and early fall. Okay, so now that you know whether fasting is right for you, let's walk through the exact step-by-step progression I recommend, from complete beginner to advanced practitioner. Before you do any kind of fast or cleanse, you need to prepare your body. Cut out caffeine, alcohol, smoking and vaping, processed foods, refined sugars, and fried foods. Replace them with whole plant foods, plenty of water, vegetables, whole grains, legumes, and fresh fruit. This isn't optional. This is the foundation. If you try to fast while your system is dependent on caffeine, nicotine, THC, or any other drug, you're just torturing yourself. This change alone will start detoxing your system, but it will be a much gentler experience than shocking it with a water fast. Once you've cleaned up your diet and gotten through your initial withdrawals, you're ready for your first official cleanse, a Kitchari cleanse. Kitchari is a traditional Ayurvedic dish made from mung dal and rice cooked with digestive spices. It's incredibly easy to digest, nourishing, and it simultaneously cleanses and rebuilds your tissues. This is where I recommend everyone start. For 7 to 14 days, you eat only Kitchari, nothing else. You can have herbal tea and water, but that's it. You're getting your protein, carbs, and fiber, but in the gentlest, most digestible form possible. And the best part? It's delicious. I'll leave my recipe in the description. Now here's another huge mistake most people make: not blocking out time on their schedule for their cleanse. When you cleanse isn't the week you go out for drinks, hit the gym hard, or schedule 12 meetings. Your body needs rest to do this work. This is you time. Tell people you're out of town if that's what it takes. Once you can easily knock out 7 days of Kitchari, you're ready to graduate to a juice cleanse. This is fresh vegetable juices only. No store-bought stuff loaded with preservatives and fruit. Fresh green juices provide dense nutrients while giving your digestive system minimal work to do. You're strengthening the detox muscle, so to speak. If you have a juicer, you can make your own out of fresh organic vegetables. You'll need around a gallon per day. This is the most cost-effective route, but more labor-intensive. There are also juice shops that offer cleanse packages where they make the juice fresh for you each day for pickup or delivery. Once you've built up the stamina to breeze through a juice cleanse, you're ready for the deep work, water fasting. You drink high-quality water only and take in nothing else. This is incredibly powerful, but it's also intense. This is not for beginners. This is after you've done the prep work, after you've cleansed multiple times, and after you've developed enough of a relationship with your body to understand its signals. And I cannot stress this enough. Do not attempt an extended water fast without medical supervision, especially if it's your first time going longer than 72 hours, if you have a chronic health condition, or if you have a history of disordered eating. All right, Here's what to expect while you're fasting or cleansing. You'll feel fatigued because your body is redirecting its energy to healing. Mild headaches are normal, especially if you didn't cut caffeine first. Toxins will be leaving through your mouth, so a coated tongue and bad breath are to be expected. Also, fasting makes you cold. I'm talking hands and feet like ice, even when it's hot out, kind of cold. Don't worry about this, it's temporary. Now, depending on whether you're fasting or cleansing and for how long, you may or may not have bowel movements. If you're juicing, expect what comes out to be liquid. If you're fasting, after a few days, you might not poop, and that's okay. Things will start up again once you start eating. You may also find yourself more emotional or irritable than normal, as detoxing isn't just physical. And finally, you might have some vivid dreams, so keep your journal handy. These are signs it's working. Don't panic. Rest more. Now, while a certain amount of discomfort is to be expected, it's important to understand the signals that your body is overloaded and it's time to stop. The red flags are severe dizziness or fainting, extreme weakness to where you can't function, heart palpitations, vomiting, or feeling worse after day 3 or 4. If you experience these, break your fast gently and consult a healthcare provider experienced in therapeutic fasting. Okay, assuming all systems are go, here's how to best support your body on this journey, because this is not the time to push yourself. You'll want to block out time on your calendar, get more rest than you think you need, and drink lots of water because you need to flush out all the toxins you're releasing. Also, take gentle walks in the sun because the sun feeds your cells and you need to get your blood flowing to move lymph. Dry brushing your skin before you shower will further open elimination pathways. Bonus points if you follow this up with a warm sesame oil self-massage, letting the oil soak in for 20 minutes before your shower. And finally, do some deep breathing exercises because your lungs eliminate waste too. Pro tip, if you can't take time off work, start your fast on a Friday. That way your days off land on the 2 hardest days. Once your fast is complete, the next critical step is how you break it, because most people think fasting ends the moment food touches their lips. Here's the truth your body wishes you knew. Your gut lining at the end of a fast is like fresh soil after a fire. What you plant first determines whether you grow a garden or a weed patch. This is arguably the most important part of the whole fast, even more than the fast itself. I've seen people nail a 5-day fast feeling light, clear, and amazing, only to break it with pizza and spend the next 2 days in bed with migraines, bloating, and the sinking misconception that fasting made them sick. But think about what's happening. Your digestive fire, which transforms your food into nutrients, is down to embers, and it needs to be gently stoked back into full effect. Your stomach has stopped producing as many digestive enzymes, your bile production has slowed, and your gut microbiome has shifted into conservation mode. This is your body being incredibly intelligent. But here's the problem. If you suddenly eat a heavy meal that's a lot of work to break down on a regular day, it's a total shock to the system at the end of a fast. Western science calls this phase metabolic reactivation. Your metabolism needs time to gently wake up, not get shocked with a defibrillator made of cheese and bread. If you jump straight into heavy foods, you'll be looking at gas, bloating, fatigue, brain fog, and worst of all, rebound inflammation. Here's the rule of thumb. Your refeeding time should be about half the length of the time you fasted. So if you fasted for 3 days, take 1.5 days to gradually reintroduce food. Some practices traditionally start refeeding with juicy raw fruits like watermelon, oranges, and grapes, but Ayurveda emphasizes warm, cooked foods to rebuild your digestive fire. I lean towards the Ayurvedic approach, and here's the science as to why. Humans don't produce the enzyme cellulose needed to break down cellulose in raw vegetables. We rely on gut bacteria to ferment it, which is inefficient. Cooking breaks down those tough cell walls and makes the nutrients much more bioavailable. Raw, cold foods can extinguish what little digestive fire you have left. That's why step 1 is warm liquids, because your digestive fire needs to be rekindled, not drowned. Sip slowly and let your stomach wake up gently. You're signaling to your body, hey, we're back in business, but we're taking it easy. Step 2 is easy to digest solids. Everything should be cooked, warm, and lightly spiced. No cold salads or raw veggies yet. Your gut still needs the pre-digestion that cooking provides. Step 3 is to restore your digestive fire with spices like ginger, cumin, coriander, and fennel. Step 4 is the part most people skip, and it's crucial. Don't eat on a schedule. Eat when you feel real hunger, and while you're eating, chew your food slowly and thoroughly. Digestion starts in your mouth. If you're inhaling your food, your stomach will struggle. In Ayurveda, we learn to look at the tongue to guide us. If it's still heavily coated with a white or yellow film, your body is still detoxifying. Stay with the lighter foods longer. When your tongue is pink and clear and your energy feels stable, that's your green light to progress. There are also a few things you should absolutely avoid after your fast. First, no coffee on an empty stomach. Coffee spikes cortisol and floods your system with stress hormones when you're trying to restore calm. Second, and I hope this one's obvious, no alcohol. Alcohol is literally a toxin. That's why they call it intoxicated. Your liver just spent days detoxifying. Don't hand it more work wrapped in a wine glass. Third, no heavy proteins or processed fats. Your body doesn't have the enzyme army ready for steak, fried chicken, or anything greasy. And finally, no cold smoothies or iced drinks. Cold, raw, improperly combined food is one of the hardest things to digest. And here's where it gets personalized. Different body types need slightly different approaches. Vata types need grounding and oily foods. Think Kitchari with extra ghee, cooked root vegetables, and warm soups. You're the one who needs the most fat and the most warmth. Pitta types need cooling foods like coconut water, cucumber, cilantro, and sweet fruits like mango or melon. Skip the chili and hot spices for now. Kapha types need light and warming foods like steamed greens, mung bean soup without the rice, ginger tea, and bitter greens. You need less fat and more stimulation. Now, once you've mastered the basics of fasting and cleansing, there's one more layer most people never explore. I'm talking about parasite cleansing, and it just might be the missing piece for a lot of your stubborn symptoms. Real talk, parasites are way more common than you think. We're not just talking about people who travel to exotic locations or drink sketchy water. We're talking about everyday life in developed countries. Cases of parasitic infections from contaminated produce tripled in the United States between 2016 and 2018. And lettuce, it's responsible for over 75% of all leafy green foodborne illnesses. Multiple studies have found that lettuce is the most contaminated vegetable, with parasites like Giardia being the most common culprit. So yeah, that triple washed organic spring mix you've been eating straight from the container, it might be hosting a party you didn't RSVP to. But it's not just lettuce. You can pick up parasites from walking barefoot in grass or soil, swimming in lakes, rivers, or oceans, eating undercooked meat or fish, contact with pets, or just touching contaminated surfaces and then eating. The most common signs are chronic digestive issues like bloating, gas, constipation, or diarrhea that won't quit, unexplained fatigue or brain fog, skin problems like rashes, eczema, or breakouts, unexplained weight changes, grinding your teeth at night, and always feeling hungry even after eating. And here's one from Ayurveda, a scalloped tongue. That's when you can see teeth marks on the edges of your tongue, which indicates malabsorption. And malabsorption can be caused by parasites stealing your nutrients. So can you just fast them away? Here's the nuanced truth. Research shows fasting alone does not remove established parasites. In fact, some parasites can adapt or even become more aggressive when they're stressed and starving. They've evolved survival mechanisms for exactly this scenario. However, autophagy does help restrict viral infections and certain intracellular parasites. But larger intestinal parasites are trickier. They've developed ways to hijack your body's autophagy pathways to their own advantage. So while fasting doesn't kill parasites on its own, it creates an internal environment where antiparasitic herbs and your immune system can work more effectively together. But here's the thing, parasites don't actually come out of your body unless you're eating. They need the movement of digestion and elimination to be physically expelled. So fasting is like the prep work, but you need food moving through your system to actually flush them out. But you can't eat just anything. For example, sugar feeds parasites. They thrive on glucose. So if you're taking parasite cleansing herbs while also eating donuts and pasta, you're just feeding them a feast while trying to evict them. But fruit is different. Fruit sugar is not the same as processed sugar when it comes to parasites. Yes, fruit contains natural sugars, but it also contains fiber, enzymes, and water that actually help your body flush out parasites mechanically. Watermelon, papaya, pineapple, berries, and pomegranate are especially powerful and have enzymes that break down parasite biofilms. So here's the actual parasite cleanse protocol. Phase 1 is preparation, lasting about 1 to 2 weeks. You're cutting out sugar and refined carbs, eliminating processed foods and alcohol, eating more bitter foods like arugula and dandelion greens, drinking warm lemon water in the morning, and taking 1 crushed clove of raw garlic daily. This sets the stage so the parasites are already weakened before you bring out the heavy artillery. Phase 2 is the cleanse itself. This is where you introduce antiparasitic herbs and foods, and these should all be taken on an empty stomach in the morning for maximum effectiveness. Now, you don't need to take all of these every single day. Think of them as your toolkit. You can rotate through them or simply pick the ones that work best for your body. Here's how each one works. First, papaya seeds. You can take these one of 2 ways. The traditional method is to grind 1 teaspoon of fresh papaya seeds, then mix with 1 tablespoon of raw, cold-packed local honey and take it straight. The honey helps with the bitter taste and also has antimicrobial properties. Or if that's too intense, blend half a cup of papaya with 1 teaspoon of the seeds. After blending, stir in your tablespoon of honey and drink it as a smoothie. Don't blend the honey because the heat and friction from the blender can destroy its natural enzymes. Both methods work. The first is more concentrated, the second is more palatable. Next is raw pumpkin seeds. Before you eat these, make sure you've had some warm digestive tea to start your digestive fire. Then eat about 1/4 cup and wait at least 30 minutes before eating anything else. This can be a lot for your stomach to handle first thing in the morning, so take your time and chew them thoroughly. Then there's raw garlic. Start with 1 clove and work up to 2 to 3 daily. Crush them, let them sit for 10 minutes, and take them on an empty stomach. You can mix them with a little honey if needed. Finally, make a tea from a combination of wormwood, black walnut, and clove, which you can find at most health food stores. Take 8 ounces twice daily on an empty stomach for up to 14 days. I'm telling you right now, this tea tastes like medicine, so don't say I didn't warn you. A simple way to structure your morning is to pick one of the seed options, either papaya seeds with honey or pumpkin seeds. Add your garlic if you can tolerate it, and have your wormwood tea morning and evening. You don't need to pile everything on at once. Listen to your body and build up gradually. Now here's the most important part, no matter which combination you choose. 2 hours after taking your antiparasitic herbs or foods, take 1 teaspoon of activated charcoal mixed in water. The charcoal binds to the toxins from the dying parasites and helps remove them from your body. Without this step, you're just recirculating those toxins and you'll feel much worse. During this cleanse phase, avoid all animal products. These are hard to digest and can actually feed certain parasites. Stick with plant-based foods like cooked vegetables, vegetable broth, steamed sweet potatoes, and lots of fresh fruit. The die-off symptoms typically hit around days 3 to 5. You might experience headaches, fatigue, nausea, brain fog, mood swings, or skin breakouts. This is your body dealing with the toxins being released by the dying parasites. It's temporary and actually a good sign things are working. And here's the question everyone wants the answer to, but no one wants to ask. What will you see in the toilet? Well, most parasites are microscopic, so you won't see them. But you might notice changes in your stool, like different colors, textures, or unusual mucus. Some people see rope-like strands or white stringy material. If you have larger parasites like roundworms or tapeworms, yes, you might see them. They can look like spaghetti, flat ribbons, or small rice-like segments. It's unsettling, but it's also confirmation that the cleanse is working. Don't become obsessed with looking for parasites. The absence of visible parasites doesn't mean the cleanse isn't working. You'll know it's working by how you feel. Better digestion, clearer skin, more energy, better sleep, and that constant hunger finally subsiding. One word of caution. If you experience severe abdominal pain, high fever, bloody stools, or vomiting that won't stop, contact a healthcare provider immediately. Okay, so let's put all of this together into a roadmap you can actually follow. The first couple months are preparation. You're weeding the garden and tilling the soil. Around month 3, you do your first Kitchari cleanse, repeating it every spring and fall. By year 2, you can start experimenting with juice cleanses in the summer and 24-hour water fasts if you feel ready. By year 3 and beyond, you can graduate to longer water fasts, up to 4 3-day fasts per year at least 3 months apart, or one annual extended fast of 5+ days with medical supervision. Don't be a stickler for timelines here. Be a stickler for feeling good about moving on to the next step. By the time you're doing extended fasts, you should be very in tune with your body and an expert at reading its signals. The reason for these limitations is that fasting, like anything else, when overdone, can be too depleting. Finally, a few bonus rituals that make a massive difference. Tongue scraping and oil pulling first thing every morning. These remove the toxins from your mouth that your body purged overnight. Do this before swallowing anything, then drink warm lemon water before anything else, which gently wakes up your digestion. And finally, that warm oil self-massage we mentioned earlier. You don't have to be cleansing to benefit from this. Even 5 minutes with warm sesame oil 20 minutes before your shower grounds your nervous system and supports detox through your skin. These daily self-care rituals are what take fasting from a one-time detox event into a sustainable longevity practice. Because detoxing is a lifestyle, not just something you do 1 week out of the year. This is how you take your healing into your own hands instead of outsourcing it to someone who isn't in your body. If this video helped you, share it with someone who needs to see it. And if you're ready to dive even deeper into how to work with your body instead of against it, check out this video right here. Remember, longevity isn't luck, it's a lifestyle. Until next time.